in the red trunks for the full stat. Mr. Yo starting off with a small pause here. Goes for the strategic approach there. And we will indeed have him play with Incas. Nice defensive gold spot in the back. Starting with all reasonable villagers, and maybe it was just a resolution thing or something. On the other side, in yellow, Mr. Hera. What can we expect, Dave?
Well, I see that Hera's gold is super far forward in not a great position here towards Yo's base. Yo, on the other hand, like you said, back gold and a couple wood lines, so maybe he can get safe really quickly and try and pressure Hera's forward gold. Yo going for an archer range start, and so is Hera.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense here. We don't have the option to go for any stables. Neither player mixing in an eagle, so that one will be very range-based. We probably have to think that the micro should be slightly better for Hera here.
Yeah, and Hera's actually making eagle now, so he delayed his archer range a little bit at the start. I think he wanted to get some of his eco upgrades, and now he's actually attempting to wall that left side, but like I said before, the gold is going to be a constant issue in this game for him.
Yeah, but we'll have the archer range there. We'll create a natural wall. In front of that, we'll have his army. Left-hand side will be walled off. Remember, the villager is losing against an eagle in feudal age as well, but not taking too much damage. Goes for big walls at the bottom as well. Not the prettiest ones.
No, you'd think there would be a more efficient way to wall off your base than whatever the heck that is at the back. Meanwhile, Mr. Yo doesn't seem to care that the deer are super far forward and might be really close to Hera's base because he's already milled them and is taking them. Of course, with the Incas, if you get that armor, your villagers are pretty impenetrable in the feudal age. So maybe he's not too concerned. He is heading out with some archers, though, and he does have an eagle just kind of standing guard at the back of Hera's base right now.
Is he thinking he can get in there before it's completely walled? Feels like it is taking the long way around. That could be close. I think it might be walled in time.
Yeah, and he's trying to pick that villager on the right, but like you said, if he can get in on the left-hand side, it could be really, really rough for Hera here.
So much happening.
Yo will get that.
And villager at the front will be saved as well. Villager will be killed. Eagle survives. Good job. Archers are coming at the left-hand side. We're already attacking at 3 fronts, and it's not even 5 minutes into the game.
This is a very Mr. Yo-esque game here. And he's going to get into these walls. He has fletching on those archers. So 2 villagers going to go down right away for Hera, and 1 for Mr. Yo at the front of his base near that archer range.
Now going for some skirmishers, going for some eagles here is Mr. Yo. And look at that. He's thinking about going castle age. Did get those deers quite nice and early.
Wow, what a start for Mr. Yo here. If you're going to go for the walls, you need to get them down before any army shows up. And Hera just couldn't do so. He's forced to come back with his 3 archers. He can't put pressure really on Yo's base. And like you said, Yo's resources looking amazing.
Yeah, no idea how he got that. On the other side, we don't have the craziest production either. Indeed, Eagle, only 2 HP. He can't help out too much in the fight.
Yeah, he's going to die in the fight. And Yo is actually going to take the engagement. I think you can see the difference between these 2 players right here. Yo didn't spend any time microing those little archers. He's like, all right, they're going to die. I'll just leave them. I'll focus on something else. Hera would have walked around that base all day with those.
Oh, no Hera snipe over here. Actually loses 1 eagle. 2 eagles here to the front. Yes. And, but Mr. Yo sending the low HP villager back at it. Not really. And you did question going for the deer here at the front. Won't get one of the ostriches. Will have a reasonable castle age timing, but needed to wall behind this one. Lots of aggression allowed for Hera.
And now he's going to clear up these archers from Hera too. Great play from Mr. Yo. And Hera, I don't know, the scale of the walls seems kind of questionable, doesn't it? Like going out that early for this many walls.
Yeah.
He got punished pretty hard for it, obviously losing 3 villagers, but he is on the way to the castle age, and so is Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo is actually going to be there first.
Yeah, is a solid 21 seconds behind. Same amount of villagers. We have Mr. Yo with a farm upgrade, something that Hera couldn't afford yet. Goes for the gold mining upgrade as well, so pretty strong economy for either player. As we can see, second archer range for either player, and that should just be a crossbow fest.
Yeah, I wonder when players start thinking about adding eagles. Do you add them in Castle Age, or do you add them when you make the switch into Imperial Age?
I think we won't really see them in Castle Age, right? Especially if you have double archer range. As Incas, you have the option to go for slingers, which are so efficient against eagles, so shouldn't really be a good choice for Hera.
Obviously, one of the Inca bonuses, the housing space, and Mr. Yo will never be pop capped. Or sorry, housed this game, as he is at 125 population available.
Pretty solid indeed, and now moves out a bit, shouldn't really find too many openings. Feels a bit like the repeat against Capote, is very safe at home, maybe runs around, but Hera just camps at home. Even goes for Town Watch, interesting approach, really does not want to be surprised.
No, I think he's played enough games against Mr. Yo in his lifetime, against this style, where he realizes how important Town Watch is. You have to know where that army is at all times. And he's actually dropping a defensive siege workshop too. So you can see the differences in reaction here between Mr. Yo and, like you said, Capote.
Interesting. And we see the instant TC being dropped by Mr. Yo. Lots of upgrades on either side. Hera goes for Town Watch as well. Lovely moves there. And, well, let's take a look. Those 6 crossbows, they shouldn't find too much. If he gets 2 villagers, he has to be super happy.
If he gets 1 villager, he has to be super happy here. Ooh, Hera. Not really noticing.
He has to be super happy.
Well, Hera did take a villager of his own at Yo's base. And Mr. Yo, like you said, has to be super happy with those 2 villagers. As Hera loops around still with those crossbows. And Yo is still chopping wood there.
Ballsy dude. Doesn't have any defense upgrades on his villagers, so that's not too special. Crossbow numbers now for the defense, 9, 13 to attack, so Yo can't defend for now. Tries to break this at the bottom, but a Mangonel is coming over.
Yeah, he might actually get in here. I love the addition of 1 eagle. It's going to do wonders against that Mangonel. As Hera tries to attack around the eagle, it's never something you want to see here. Oh, he gets one!
No, 19 down to 19 HP, crossbow going through, and the crossbow's indeed clearing up the eagle. Current attack was good enough.
Very, very nice defense there from Hera. Now he's stabilized at his own base, but Mr. Yo taking no chances. He has his own crossbow army in defense. He got that second TC up quicker than Hera. Hera actually has his on a hill near his base. So Yo is going to have the economic lead here going into the middle of the Castle Age.
Both players with 2 TCs for now, as you can see at the bottom of the overlay. We're now getting ballistics. Mr. Yo, is he trying to micro this one against Hera, who would love to go for the crossbow dance?
Yeah, he wanted to push Yo back through that little choke point in the wall so his Mangonel could attack ground. Yo having none of it.
Oh, we're going for the dance. Missing a lot of shots here. Neither player with ballistics for now. Oh, the Knight's Market Trap.
That was sick by Hera. I was wondering what those idle villagers were doing. They were just planning what they were going to build there and trap Mr. Yo. And great micro from Yo, though.
But honestly, like, he is building a full... Like, he built the market to 85% or something. That's like 140 wood lost.
And look at the idols in Hera's base, too. He was very distracted through all those engagements. He actually engaged Yo at the front of his base as well. Yo coming out with a forward TC and a forward siege workshop. And he has the army advantage. This is looking really rough for Hera here.
TC luckily in a good position to protect the gold. Woodline's relatively exposed. A bit surprised that we still don't see a 3rd TC from Hera.
Yeah, this game, so far this game, Hera's looked, I won't say shaky, but not at his peak in terms of unit control, macro, etc. Maybe it's just a first game of the series kind of thing. Needs to work those jitters out. Mr. Yo, though, looking amazing so far.
Robo obviously trying to make it as good as possible for all the players. Did ask them what they wanted to play, what times they wanted to play to define the order. And Hera actually decided the first set of the day is what would be lovely. Most players didn't really have any strong feelings. We obviously have a big break between the semis and the finals this time, so no advantages there. Now the tech into elite skirmishers, not that typical for Hera.
No, and I don't know how well it's going to do for him, especially with that Siege Workshop now for Mr. Yo, and this hill in the middle too. If Yo has mangonels around there, it's going to be very, very dangerous for Hera. Yo is scouting out that second TC now. Going to see that from Hera. He's going to loop around, see if he can find anything else.
Maybe the woodland at the left-hand side will get a farm that is full with all the food there. That's a nice full 60 would kill. And, well, Siege Workshop now at the front as well. Somewhat even game, but it feels like Hera is chasing Yo the whole game long.
Yeah, he's reacting a lot. I do like this raid at the north, though, but he patrols into the house, so he won't get this villager pick.
Instantly spotted there as well. Now taking fight from the hill advantage. No, not going to happen. Hera is retreating. 3 villager lead, 13 military lead behind this, although the KD is relatively even.
Seems like better macro so far in this game from Mr. Yo, but Hera is still in it for sure. Mr. Yo only with a slight advantage here. Do you think we're going to see a castle from either player in that middle area of the map?
Well, we have 8 villages in stone for Mr. Yo, and he can build his castles even cheaper being Inca. So that's a very likely scenario. Is going for a monastery now. And if we look at the relics, 3 at the top, 2 at the left-hand side, he should get a lot of control while he clears up the crossbows at the left-hand side.
Oh, that was such a great... That was a great pick from Mr. Yo to come up there with the crossbows. He had an army to the north. He had one to the south. He was trying to find them, and he did, and that's an excellent trade.
Two Mangonels trying to revenge kill, though. Let's take a look. What does Mr. Yo see? He's pretty blind in that area. Sends more crossbow over. Uh-oh, Dave. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, Hera. Yo sees it at the last moment. He's going to micro against this Hera with an excellent attack round where Yo was going to split, though. So he gets 2. Another great hit.
Half of the army just chilling on the hill there. Hera gets some nice attacks in. Skirmishers behind this one as well. Yo gets out alive, but with some losses.
Yeah, some excellent attack rounds there from Hera, but also some excellent micro there from Yo. And he's on the way to Imperial Age behind this. Hera now coming forward with those elite skirmishers. Yo has to know he's going to be first to imp. Looking at the composition from Hera, elite skirmishers obviously more costly on food. And he's taking a great engagement here too.
Wow, Hera did catch up a lot. Look at that. Imp timing relatively even. We have both players relatively even when it comes to Imp as well. We have lots of skirmishers which won't scale too well in the long run. Some more micro here by Hera against the Mangonel. Should be doing fine. Neither player interested in taking this engagement. And indeed, double eagle switch. Both players will opt out of archers.
And Hera's building his barracks actually on the left-hand side, so maybe he wants to go for some raids first, rather than pushing down the middle against Mr. Yo's castle. Which civilization do you favor here in an Imperial War?
Tough to say. I think simply having the option to mix in 5 slingers could be really nice, but wow, if you block all the gold, well, then you have the advantage no matter your civilization, and Yo's getting some nice pickoffs.
Why is Hera just giving up this forward position here?
I think it was the 2 Mangonels. They did guard that hill, but then he moved over there to the center, did lose those, and never really plugged that hole.
You can see he's going to the neutral gold in the north now. He's trying to get map control, placing some outposts as well. So he's going to shift the focus of the game up to the left here, and Yo wants to keep it right down the middle and to the bottom. Great attack round from Hera, but good shot from Mr. Yo.
That was so good for Mr. Yo. Trades of 2 crossbow against the Mangonel, can keep up the aggression and can block the gold spot. That's huge if both players want to go for eagles, which costs so much gold.
Well, Hera found another gold, so that's good for him. But obviously, you never want to be pushed off or remaining tiles like that. And you never want Mr. Yo just wandering around in your eco with crossbows. I mean, like you said, they're going to go into eagles, so these crossbows aren't super, super useful anymore. Yo can just try and find villager picks.
The eagles don't have any upgrades. The crossbow actually do a lot of damage still for Mr. Yo. That's pretty crazy. Compare the upgrades. 1-2 against 0-0.
Oh boy. Seems so streamlined for Mr. Yo here, doesn't it, in this game compared to Hera? And wow, Yo is still in the back of Hera's base. Can he find that wood line with all those villagers?
Oh yeah,
he does.
He will.
Oh boy.
Garland was now coming in. +4 attack for all those eagles. That would be the first upgrade. Still non-elite eagle warriors. Those are going to die. All those villagers. 20 population lead now. Skirms are trying to clear it up, but so much map control. Look at that. Mr. Yo even taking that hill and the extra golds.
Yeah, he's got a castle up there. Hera does have an outpost, so he sees it, but he's busy with these crossbows. And he's losing eagles to these crossbows from Mr. Yo. Like you said, no armor upgrades on them.
It's so weird. It's Castle Age Eagles, and oh boy, Mr. Yo takes game number 1. Hera, yesterday, he did play a set that only went to 3 wins, did win it 5-0, and today, that won't be the same result.
Oh my goodness, that seemed shaky from Hera. A little bit shaky from Hera, but super solid from Mr. Yo. We'll see what Hera can pull out in game number 2 on his home map. Oi, oi, oi. Mr. Yo looking like the guy who won the last Wololo tournament, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, so clean in everything he did. The walls, I think he had a bit of an easier wall there if we have to compare this, but yeah, just exceptional crossbow awareness, the map control, the transition, the macro was absolutely on point, and Hera just felt punished over and over again. Population in the end actually pretty even. Let's take a look into the statistics here. What do you have to look at, Dave?
KD, pretty consistent between both players. I think the transitions, though, for Mr. Yo are just a little bit smoother in the game, and it snowballed. Economy a little bit better for him as well.
Yeah, not the biggest difference there. We see slightly more gold even for Hera. Timings were pretty similar in Castle Age and Imperial Age. Slight Village Elite. That one was a very high level, very even game. But Mr. Yo looks super sharp. We will jump into one of the home maps of Hera. Wings or Frigid Lake? What do you want to see from him?
Usually in these sets, when someone picks Wings, they're pretty confident that they're going to win, so they pick it as their second home map in the set, but I think it might be, we might see Wings right now from Hera. What Civ he's going to pick? I don't know, Britons maybe?
We did see Britons lose to Incas yesterday, but we won't have those anymore. No more Eagles left in this set. Saracens of Mr. Yo. It feels so weird. I don't really see a great civilization for Mr. Yo there. Is he maybe trying to do something with Lithuanians?
Can you go Celts on Wings?
You can open with Men-at-Arms, but it's so compact. It will be tricky to get raids in that your opponent isn't seeing. So I think if Hera, which see them getting too many kills.
They are in the lobby right now, and it looks like
Uh-oh.
it will be Wings.
Chat will
as
spam
the
some
map.
Fs pretty soon. Oh no, actually they won't. Huh, didn't see my scene. And okay, Wings you said? Okay. Maybe Ethiopians? Didn't Zach say that Ethiopians only won 1 out of 10 games so far?
1 out of 10 games, yeah. 10% win rate for the Ethiopians, which are, like, have been drafted in most of the sets, too. Maybe people just do a really good job at counterpicking.
Okay, now quiz. Who was the only one winning with Ethiopians?
It was a player,
Exactly.
a pro player
Exactly.
in this tournament.
The pro player.
Viper.
He even made it onto some posters. It was Daud.
Oh,
Against Nico.
of course it's Doubt.
I tried to set you up. I think I even said it in the earlier before. That's how you listen to me. And well, Hera will try to find redemption for Ethiopians. He will pick it, and Mr. Yo indeed will go for Lithuanians. This one should be very aggressive from the get-go. We're jumping into game number 2. Mr. Yo keeps his villagers on gold for now and builds an archer range in the wrong direction. Mr. Yo is confusing left and right. Dave, what's happening here?
Well, I mean, it's a pretty short distance from the front to the back of his base, but he should know that Hera is on the other side. Wow, that is amazing. That tells me that he wants to go super, super defensive here and just
Dave.
build his army numbers. I don't know what's going on.
I think he confused left and right. I think he saw the barracks and something like muscle memory or something. That's so weird. You even saw the spearman going to the wrong direction. And now he's walling off the front. This will be very problematic for him to control his resources. Archer range opening from Hera. Lots of walls by him.
This looks really weird to me though for Mr. Yo, because he's not spending that those early resources from Lithuanians. Just making a few skirmishers and walling up. Does he want to get really greedy here?
Sending in some sheep. Might be like 3 skirm defense into fast castle. Look at that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Not a single upgrade. It's not a single upgrade. Ooh.
Like you're busy laughing at his archer range, but maybe this is all planned out, Nili.
No. 2 villagers on gold now. Indeed, only wants to go for skirmishers. Maybe we can get a trap. Spearman gets 1 hit off, and Hera will be surprised by this.
Yep. Well, will he though? Because look at his base. He's doing the same thing.
Going for lots of archers. Quite interesting. Has reasonable gold here. Buries somewhat at the front, but walls himself completely. Very interesting approach. And I'm hyping this map like so aggressive, massive action. Both players just deciding to play fast castle, although they're close to spawning on the same screen.
This is the difference between opening stages and semifinals, right? Both players playing super, super safe, but at the same time, both players being very greedy indeed. Your bases are so close together on wings. We haven't seen this strategy before. Not in this tournament.
Absolutely not. And if you ask me, I would advise against it. Something interesting is that Hera, he also wants to go fast castle, is starting with 100 extra food, 100 extra gold. Did go for the wood upgrade. Will delay his castle age timing slightly, but will have the better economy.
And Mr. Yo is dropping a market now.
Hera
He's going to be clicking up soon. They're copying each other with build orders, except Hera's archer range was forward and Yo's is where it is.
And you don't need the markets to click up. You have enough resource. You have enough buildings. Now going up 745. Second archer range here by Mr. Yo. Remember those skirmishers? They walk a bit faster. Could be good for them to catch up with running away crossbows.
Do you like the fact that Yo has all the vision on Hera, so he knows exactly what Hera's doing, and Hera kind of left in the dark about what Yo is up to currently?
That's absolutely beautiful. And that's the beauty of opening with skirmishers, right? The natural counter to the archers. We see everything. And look at that. How annoying Mr. Yo is. Just puts a skirmisher behind each wood line.
Hera housed here. Badly housed here, actually. Forced to build one.
I'm trying to clear up with some archers. Skirm goes away. This is so annoying for Hera.
It really is. And a second range for Yo producing skirmishers too. And Hera just on one archer range. Okay, here comes the second one. He's going to have it once he gets to Castle Age, but the numbers for him are just not going to be there.
Do you think he maybe could have gone for knights? Just at a stable. Like, he's only seeing skirmishers for now.
Mm-hmm.
Was he expecting knights out of Mr. Yo, which could be natural as well there. And, ooh, forward villager. Is that for a siege workshop?
I don't know. For Mr. Yo, she's building a house right now. We'll have to wait and see. I think Hera wants to build up his crossbow numbers, and knowing Hera, he's confident enough once he gets those numbers that he can like micro down skirmishers. He is adding a stable now though to support that. He did lose an archer on his wood line, and now he sees that Mr. Yo is in the Castle Age, and Yo immediately getting Bodkin, but no, elite skirmisher.
He still doesn't have the wood line. And, well, villagers moving further forward. Double stable out of Hera. Interesting. Double archery range, double stable. He's saw enough skirms to go for the tech switch.
Yeah, and look at his resources. And he's going to get 100 more food and 100 more gold once he gets there, too. So he's going to have plenty to produce.
Sorry, go.
And a forward monastery from Yo in the middle. Okay, so he expects the stables from Hera.
Did he see the stables? That's quite surprising, because there was not a lot of spaces where he could have hit those stables.
I love the constant pressure from Yo here. Skirmishers on every single side. Hera finally with a knight out on the field. He's going to go try and engage against those skirmishers at the top. Yo needs to run away. But Hera chasing so far this game.
How far can you run away, though? One knight maybe even clears up all those 8 skirmishers. Tries to get home. Skirmishers in the center now. Finally, elite skirmisher is kicking in. But the second defense upgrade for the knights even.
Yeah, those are going to be very, very strong. And now Hera sees that Yo has a monastery in the middle. So he's going to make sure not to toss his knights into any monks or potentially snipe the monks with his crossbows. The 2 knights are also clearing up those skirmishers from the north.
Oh, I'm
kind of
holding
switched
my
around,
breath
looking pretty
here.
good for Hera.
Oh, knights need to go away as well. Still. Oh, he should get a conversion quite easily. And skirmishers
Should.
are microing. Should, but isn't.
Very unfortunate for Mr. Yo. RNG not in his favor there, and he's forced to go back, and he's forced to start making spearmen now. But Hera still has those crossbows. They're going to be very difficult for Mr. Yo.
Oh boy, and crossbow knight, kind of the strongest composition you can go for in Castle Age, especially without considering unique units. And wow, there's going to be some dead villagers. Knights are in the gold as well.
Yeah, really, really good turnaround here from Hera. He used those extra resources as the Ethiopians to get the upgrades, to get his production rolling. He's pushed Yo all the way back to his base. Yo was still being annoying on the right-hand side with a few units, but pressure is all on him right now.
Skirms +2/+2 soon. Can take some fights against the crossbows very cost efficiently, but not against the knights, and it's still a lot of knights out. One monk, can he get some conversions? Looks really likely. Indeed, at least that's happening for him.
Yeah, and now Yo can use that to help clear up the crossbows. Obviously, that knight with +2. He is going to lose the monk, though, and Hera's still streaming units. Actually, some scouts out on the field now.
Oh, yeah, he likes that against some monks, right? Crossbow maybe to deal with the spearman. Scouts, not the craziest thing. He's now floating some gold. Hui, I just thought like 2 minutes ago that Hera could maybe just snowball this one out of control, but nice hold by Mr. Yo. Score incredibly even.
Yeah, and Hera's housed again. Badly housed. Kind of stalling himself out here. Okay, he builds one at the back there. I didn't see that. Seems like Hera just stopped producing, or there was 2 scouts kind of, slowed him down a little bit. Gave Yo a chance to get into this middle area once again.
They will find some intel for the team, though. 2 villagers at the front. Sees more villagers at the front. Oh, a TC in the center there for Mr. Yo. Monk won't get a conversion. Villagers could go down. Another monk. And this is so bad for Mr. Yo. So many monks already going down this early in the game.
Yeah, and Hera's actually getting husbandry, too, for his knights. Okay, here's the unit flood that I was talking about. Hera constantly producing knights now. And Yo just struggling so hard against these knights.
Only 4 spearmen, and that's the problem, right? If you could get some conversions, that could be good, but this one looks so tricky that TC won't go up. Hera in full control.
Yeah, it's amazing to me that Yo opted for the TC in the middle. He does have one in the back already on the stone, which is great, but he tried to get another one on that 2-tile stone in the middle, and that seems so risky to me.
Indeed, I didn't really see the value. Maybe if Faldokem so far behind. Obviously, if you get the TC up there, it's so good with your monks, right? They can always jump into safety, but he never had enough control. Crossbow now running around, and they will find some kills at the woodline as well.
Yeah, both wood lines there exposed, and Yo is actually opening it up to try and make a monastery at home, but Hera's gonna knock on the
Overchop
door
in 4
now.
wood, overchop in 3 wood, overchop in 2 wood, kills the villagers though they can't overchop.
2 wood exactly left on that dragon tree there. Yo pulls the other ones away. Hera though with a ram now in the middle, and I really like that addition because Yo will struggle to kill that. Not many spearmen on the field for him. He doesn't have a defensive siege workshop. And oh boy, Yo has 3 TCs, but Hera with all the pressure right now.
Surprisingly even villager count, 53 to 53. Mr. Yo adding the TC in the back there did really help him out. Villagers, can they find more kills? Hera still sits at 1 TC. Oh, but finds kills.
Yeah, look at how fast those crossbows fire. Hera obviously microing down those villagers, splitting away from the TC fire, but at the front, still pushing with a ram and the scorpion to back it up. Yo, finally with a defensive siege workshop, so he's going to make a mangonel of his own, but he doesn't have wood.
Finally with the siege workshop, finally with double bit X as well. Yeah, so the answer there why he was lacking so much wood all game long. Solid population lead here for Mr. Hera. 88 is taking down everything in the center, and now he adds the monastery himself.
Yeah, and Hera's just keeping up the production. He's going to find another wood line. That seems to be the story of the game for the last 5 minutes or so. Hera just on every single wood line from Mr. Yo, sniping all these villagers down. Yo desperately trying to react, but it's just too many areas.
Scouts trying to go for the monk, won't find the Hera snipe. 1 conversion there, will get the kill afterwards, and well, Hera can't be too sad about that either. Oh, Knights.
Hanging all out for Mr. Yo, but the Knights are coming in, and they are +2. They can run into that TC if they want to. Yo's trying to repair that. That's not going to work.
Yeah, try to block it off with the stone wall, but it's way too open anyways, and that's going to be some dead villagers as well. Military count 10 to 35 at the moment. Lots of idle villagers on either side though.
Yeah, and Hera can just keep running around with these Knights, keep trying to find exposed eco. And he has 2 different armies of crossbows that he's controlling. Every time Mr. Yo doesn't pay attention to one, the other one hits him from behind, and he loses 4 more villagers on the wood line. Really dominant performance here from Hera.
Absolutely, and decimates the skirm count. Another monk won't find the kill, deleting the knights there before they convert over to Mr. Yo. Gets another skirmisher kill. Woodline completely exposed. Hera will take game number 2.
Yep, Yo has to run with all of these villagers. Hera's gonna micro them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And look at the Vil count now. Hera in a firm lead here. Firm lead.
Wow, but incredible fighting spirit out of Mr. Yo here. I was like sure, like after losing those 8 villagers, Mr. Yo could not continue to play this one. And he just feels, okay, I have 40 villagers, 24 of them idle, but seconds later he realizes this is not his one to win.
I think when, like, both of your TCs are full of villagers and there's armies surrounding your entire base, I think it's time to call it.
Pop 45 there against 95 in the end. Interesting approach by both players, playing fast castle on this super short distance map.
Yeah, we haven't seen it from one player in this map before, and then we saw it from both in the same game. It's really interesting, especially with a civ like Lithuanians, which is generally considered to be the aggressor in Empire Wars, but Yo using that extra food to get up to Castle Age faster. Hera doing the same thing with the Ethiopians, and it just played out much better for Hera.
Hera played this full game, 1 TC, 64 villagers in the end, did expand to the right-hand side to get some gold, and, well, interesting approaches here, and I'm happy to see the set evened out.
Yeah, we're going into Yo's first home map here.
Hera.
He did pick Cross. He did pick Golden Swamp. What are we going to see here?
I think we will see Golden Swamp as a prepared strategy. Let's take a look at the statistics first. 10 buildings killed there even in a 20-minute game, something we won't have too often. And, well, Let me take a look. So what could be potential civilizations there? Koreans, Byzantines are the ones that feel kind of obvious, or do you think Celts are an option?
I think Celts for Golden Swamp. That's your home map. Celts, or you could potentially go Saracens as well.
Okay. I don't mind this too much. Plays a bit like Frigid Lake there with the gold in the center, or with the water in the center. You can go for one dock opening, try to go for Castle Age pretty soon. We kind of want to see them on Frigid Lake as well, though. Not easy choice, especially the Koreans confuse me a bit.
Do you think the Koreans is just a mind game thing for Mr. Yo, though? Because you have that extra civilization. Do you think he's doing that so that Hera has to be worried about the potential of an all-in, like, tower rush? I don't know. It seems super strange to me as well.
I think Hera has the pick number 14 there in Byzantines, right? So Mr. Yo maybe thinks, okay, what is the civilization that I don't want to give you on Golden Swamp if I play Celts? And maybe didn't want to face Koreans and kind of accepts to play against Byzantines. That could be his thought process. But we will go for Cross first. And it will be the matchup that we have seen so many times. Huns against Persians again. we have to think Huns are slightly better there, right?
Yeah, I think it's a very slight advantage, though. Persians, obviously, with the faster working TC, is faster working docks, and the extra resources at the beginning, very, very strong there. What was the last result of the Huns versus Persians matches we've seen?
I don't know. I think at one point in the tournament it was 3-3 in score.
Okay.
Okay, Zach flies in with a 3-3 there as well. So, yeah. So very, very even. Let's just assume the better player wins.
That's a good assumption. I like that, actually. Civs don't matter. It's only if you are the better player, and this series is tied 1-1, so both players trying to be better than the other. Did you like that segue?
Yeah. Oh, the typical cards. I think, okay, spec delay is very long. What can we say? Both players trying to win. Yeah, both players, they don't want to lose more games. They rather kill more villagers than lose. And we can actually jump into the game. Stable opening here by Mr. Yo. He's going Hunt. Archer opening by Mr. Hera with Persians.
Yep, and we've seen this before, actually, the archery range opening from the Persian player. Usually you kind of think of them as a cavalry civilization, and Yo sees that archer range right away with his scout. He's going to be a little bit annoying, but couldn't get any real damage on that villager. Yo going for a dock immediately.
Very early on, knowing that Huns don't need to build houses. He is not going for a single eco upgrade, as we can see in the top. Hera is going for the wood upgrade first, so has to delay his dock a bit more. Interesting approach. Far away dock as well.
Yeah. Yo running around with some scouts, trying to put some early pressure down. Hera with a stable of his own.
Let's take a look. Does he want to jump into the villager? No. Palisade there as well. Hera very active. Tries to find a single villager off guard somewhere. The villager here at the top, very low HP, 22. Do we want to commit? No. Some more spearman harassment. We see the scout at the other side here of Hera. Tries to be annoying and might even find a kill in the back. Meanwhile, lots of red dots here. Villager fight here, villager fight there, villager fight in the back. Action everywhere.
There is indeed. I'm going to have to rejoin you in a bit, Nili. My game is having some problems.
Hera snipe. Mr. Yo gets the kill there as well. So very even in that regard. And... well, 33 villagers to 34. Hera a bit better, having the faster working TC. Mr. Yo, that's a lot of floating resources early on. He's not going for the archer range. Lots of villagers on gold early on. And that will be one of the shorter feudal age plays from him. At least that's what I was expecting. But maybe he was just floating some. Indeed, now archer range, now producing out of the stable. So production was just idle for a small second there. Still, one dog kicking for him. Hera plays it without any so far. Archer's now at the front, trying to micro a bit. No spearmen to protect them. Archer coming from the other side, could get sniped by Hera. 3 scouts still around, send some more forward, and well, Hera gets away there with what looks to be 2 archers still. Oh, outpost rushing the right hand side pond. Wants to see if he can dock there. Quite surprising that we aren't spawning or starting with a normal dock first. Seats? Okay, there's no dock. That's so weird. Mr. Yo has to be surprised that Hera is not going for the dock in his right hand side corner. Second archer range now by the Persian player. Hera loves his archers, we all know that, but that's still a bit surprising. 2 archers coming over at the left hand side here, and Mr. Yo, look at that. He can't believe what's happening. He's trying to scout all docks now, all pawns now, and kind of wants to get mental. Like, are you not going to dock? We did see a game from Mr. Leary yesterday where he didn't go for any, and Dave, maybe you can give us an update at one point how it's looking at your end. And we have still double archer range continuing there. Archers now moving out. Gold relatively exposed. Maybe defensive tower could help out. Berries in the open as well. Archers moving out. Oh, both armies will miss each other, or will they? No! Hera actually split off. That will be pretty unfortunate for him. 1 spearman down, but has the hill advantage. Hera is retreating. Micro continues here. Villagers have to be pulled away. Deer now ended. More scouts coming over. And Mr. Yo thinking about docking the right-hand side pond. Hera pushed away. Archers on that hill, but production of the archers should be better. As you can see, Hera producing out of 2 archery ranges. On the other side, not really happening.
I'm back. Don't worry about it. Guys, don't worry. I'm back. I love the fact that Yo has scouted out that pond completely on the right-hand side. He knows exactly Hera's situation on water. I wonder if Hera opts to go for that later, especially once he sees those outposts from Mr. Yo. Economy for both, though, looking pretty solid right now, especially since Hera doesn't have any fishing ships and is tied on economic units.
Yeah, Hera's 7 villages ahead now, but 6 fishing ships behind. We'll find 1 villager kill. Would have loved to get 2. Slight misstep by him there. Scouts coming over for the defense. Low HP scouts, though. We have bloodlines and +1 attack on them, though. And, well, it will be the longer feudal age. Kind of what we expected before the game. Second stable now being added by Hera.
And Yo is clearing up the units at the back there. Hera did get a couple nice picks there. He's been very, very active. And he's back at the front of Mr. Yo's base, but Yo in defense. Spearmen, archers, scouts. Full feudal battle here. Bloodlines coming in for Hera now, though.
Will be big feudal fight, surely. But not a lot of production by Mr. Yo yet. Look at that. 1 stable, 1 archer range against double stable, double archer range. This should be better when it comes to production now. Taking the fight here, trying to claim the hill. And Mr. Yo waiting for the defense upgrade.
Yeah, he's got a lot of wounded scouts, though. He's getting the armor, but what is it? Oh, 5 of those scouts are half or lower than half HP. Hera with bloodlines and all of his scouts at full HP. I have to favor him in this engagement, especially if he hangs out on that hill in the middle of the map. But every second that passes, Mr. Yo is getting more fishing ships in the ponds. And he's expanding his eco advantage.
Persian TC is ticking away as well, getting the defense upgrade for the scouts now. And just feels like maybe Mr. Yo gives up that hill control and tries to go for the raid. Not really going to happen. Still lacking the wood upgrade behind this.
Forging now coming in from Hera. So he's going to have fully upgraded feudal scouts ready to go. And full HP on his. Meanwhile, Yo's army is super, super weak.
Ooh, do you think Yo should take this engagement against the hill? It is questionable for sure. 2 spearmen helping out as well. Scouts seem to trade off archer numbers. Look better for Hera.
Yeah, and look at the fact that Hera's scouts were full HP comes into play so much in this fight here. He clears up everything. The scouts go down. And as soon as the scouts go down, the archers have no defense. And they're going to get wiped up. And now suddenly, Mr. Yo with 6 military on the field, and Hera sitting at 22.
Wow, this shouldn't have never happened. Mr. Yo taking the fight against the hill. That's something you never want to do in Age of Empires unless you have significant army advantage there. And that was just so impatient out of him. I think just defending with your archers and running around with your scouts might have been the better play. Now he has to rush out the defensive tower.
Especially when you know that your opponent doesn't have a dock and that you have fishing ships. You have that advantage. There's no reason for you to take that fight in the middle there. Unless he thought like he wanted to take it before Hera mixed in some even more scouts. I don't know. It was a very questionable decision from Yo. And now Hera with a really great position at the front of Yo's base. Yo adding a 3rd stable, so he's fully committing to the defense here in Feudal.
Mr. Yo didn't scout the 2nd archer engine 2nd stable, though. Maybe he was scared that Hera was already upping to castle edge. Maybe some misreading there of the score happened. Has a lot of scouts himself. Yeah.
That's a ton of scouts for Mr. Yo. He's got 13 on the field. They are fully upgraded Feudal scouts, and Hera forced to chase now. So Yo is taking the pressure off his own base. He has those 3 stables producing, still has the docks.
Hera takes a horrible engagement there, but actually had even numbers. Archers are coming over for the chase. Still more feudal age aggression out of Hera, as we can see. Resource absolutely at the limit. Mr. Yo, he's thinking about upping to castle age.
Both players playing so well here. Hera's super defensive. I love the way he's towered his gold. He's spacing his spearmen out. If Yo comes in for a raid, Hera's going to make it super costly for him to do so. And now he's split his archers away. At the same time, he's tracking that army of scouts from Yo, so there's no threat there, and he takes an engagement.
Oh, but is that a good one? It feels like better numbers for Mr. Hera. Again, needs to run there. Holy moly, 38 feudal army now for Hera, and I don't really see anything by Mr. Yo that could clear that one up. Now sends over, tries to take an engagement with 6 archers. That's not a thing.
I think that's a decent fight for Yo, actually. There was a lot of wounded archers for Hera, and he had to run uphill through those scouts. And the scouts are fully upgraded. That's a pretty good fight for Mr. Yo.
Okay, it is a thing.
It's definitely a thing.
Okay, meanwhile, the raid at the left-hand side. No more villagers around there to get killed. Now the quick votes by Mr. Yo. Wants to be safe, but oh, it's so likely that he will have a hole or an overchop later on.
I don't think he does, though. Not right now. That's excellent quick walling from Mr. Yo. Still Hera on the gold, though. Constant pressure from Hera with those scouts. Even when he lost that engagement in the middle, he's still putting pressure on Mr. Yo's economy. And obviously, with the armor, the towers are going to take a long time to take these down.
Even with the full 5 arrows, 1 spearman around there as well. And, well, Mr. Yo up to castle age. Hera sits at 80 food. How is Mr. Yo doing it?
Well, he's doing it because he has the fishing ships. He's got 7 in the pond to the left, and he's got 6 over in the pond to the right, and Hera does not have that. Now Hera diving against these 2 towers, and I can't believe that Mr. Yo is still in this game, Nili. I thought when Hera had that position on the hill, it was over.
I have to remind myself to breathe from time to time here. This is crazy. Hera, he only has 5 archers now for the raid. Mr. Yo knows exactly that those are around, might lose 1-2 villagers on the wood. And I'm just so surprised how those AM players, if you remember Lyra yesterday, are completely ignoring the water on this map.
Yeah, and Hera's getting his archers cleared up at the back. Yo saves that villager who's on 4 HP. Hera, though, with a lot of feudal pressure here. He probably knows that Yo is on the way to the castle age, so he's going to continue producing units, putting that pressure on Yo's base, not giving him a break. He's doing a great job of it.
Some very low HP scouts at the side trying to be annoying, but a spearman will deal with that, or the villagers even before. No horse color by Hera as well. And how many farms does he have? He's sitting at a solid 31 farms. No horse
31!
color.
31 farms. That's what you need to produce from 3 stables. Now he's idling, so he's thinking about clicking up to the castle age. And Yo is taking control of the dock, or the, sorry, not the dock, the pond at the south as well. So he's going to have control over 3 ponds. Hera still with nothing.
Oh, 3 pawns, 3 stable production now for Mr. Yo as well. And Hera gives this one up. Dave!
3 minutes ago when Hera was sitting on that hill with the scouts, with the archers, after clearing up Yo's entire military, I would have said this game was over, but Yo does just such a fantastic job of stabilizing when he's under pressure.
It was 22 army to 5. No
Yep.
defensive tower. No walls. How did Mr. Yo hold?
Well, there was the immediate response, right? He built the tower on the gold so Hera couldn't push in there. He built the third stable. He got all the upgrades for his scouts, and he kept them garrisoned until he could take the fight. I think Hera might have been better off pushing right into Yo's base at that moment, but he didn't do so. He camped the hill, and it just didn't work out for him. What a performance from Mr. Yo, going into a game number 4, 2-1 up.
Oh man, and you see how much better the rates of Hera were and how much better the Persian TC is. 68 villagers to 53. Yeah, we also have some villagers obviously not being produced because we advanced to Castle Age, but that advantage was big. 15 fishing ships though on the side of Mr. Yo, who finished this game without the wood upgrade.
Finished. And he had so many fishing ships too. Oh my goodness. You hate to think how the game would go for Hera if Yo did have the wood upgrade there. Oh my goodness. We're going into Hera's home map for game number 4. The statistics, once again, pretty even in kill death.
Yeah, slightly better there for Mr. Yo, and that's before the knights could kick in and we didn't have any water engagements. And now we compare the economies, actually pretty even. Quite surprising to see that. Oh man, Castle Age timing unanswered by Mr. Hera. Villager high, that includes fishing ships, absolutely even in the end. Holy moly, Hera back against this wall, needs to win the 2 next games. Frigid Lake will be up next.
And what civ do you see for Frigid Lake here from Hera? I think we might see the Saracens from Yo, but what do you think Hera opts to go with?
Well, he did play Khmer yesterday. He did get the W yesterday, so would be a huge surprise to not see them again here. They're simply incredibly strong. You don't need to farm, or you can't farm around your TC. Khmer can build farms everywhere. That is pretty good. And Dave, we can fill some minutes. They will take a bit of time. Need some rest. Need to take a breath. Ooh, that game was a bit of a surprise to me.
Yeah, that was a big swing there. That was a very, very big swing. I think Hera needed to be a little bit more aggressive, I think. When you have that much of a military advantage, you see you've wiped up your entire enemy's army, and then you just sit on the hill in front of his base.
Do you think he maybe should have added some spearmen as well? Because he was facing 3 stables exclusively, right?
Well, he did add them. He just had them in defense. He wasn't sending them forward. He was sending them to his woodlines. He was sending them to his gold, to his berries, etc. He didn't want any raids coming in from Mr. Yo. I think he thought that Yo had a lot more army on the field than he actually did after he took that one big fight.
Yeah.
He was worried about counter raids. He was worried about what Yo had at the back of his base. And he didn't have the vision that we had that showed that Mr. Yo had 4 archers and 2 scouts?
Something like that. Yeah, but how can he counter raid, right? If he has an army that could potentially counter raid at that spot, he would never take that fight on the hill, right? It's like, if you have those massive fights, at least 90% of your army is on that single screen then.
Mm-hmm. The civ picks remaining for Mr. Yo. What do you think about those 3 civs for 2 maps left?
So Golden Swamp, I see still Byzantines there, and probably we are facing Celts. Saracen Khmer feel very reasonable. Might actually be that Hera won't pick Britons, or actually, let me remember. Didn't Hera in the last semifinal against Viper pick Britons on Golden Swamp? I think so.
I know they had a game there.
I think it was Britons. I'm pretty certain now. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe we don't see Byzantines at all.
Persians is supposed to be grayed out on this graphic, guys. So Hera only has Britons, Khmer, and Byzantines left because obviously he played Persians last game. And we have a lobby now, so it's only a few minutes before game number 4 is going to be starting up here. Hera really needs to win this to keep his hopes alive.
And those few minutes are down to 10 seconds. I love sometimes how time flies. Saracens against Khmer, so our prediction on point there. Hera needs to win the next 2 games, Dave. Otherwise, he will finish 3rd, 4th again.
Here we go. Frigid Lake, Khmer versus Saracens. Mr. Yo versus Hera. Hera needs to win this. Keep his hopes alive. Yo needs to win this to finish off the series. Yo with the immediate market. No surprises there.
Yeah, sometimes we see people opening with the archer range, but Mr. Yo, he just wants to go for the wild approach and has a very compact base here. Easy wall at the front. Gold somewhat exposed and, well, will be interesting. On the other side, instant wood upgrade for Mr. Hera. He is going for the walls. No military building from him.
So I guess he's dropping an archer range now, but he's full walling his base, so he's very nervous about any potential pressure in the early Castle Age from the Saracens. Do you think he just tries to get up to Castle Age as soon as he possibly can as well?
Would make a lot of sense, right? He sees, okay, unlikely that I will break a Saracen player, and we did see Hera accepting, okay, against some crazy defensive strategies. It is just fine to go fast castle himself. We did see that against Tedo yesterday as well with the Britons. Kind of a similar approach here.
The resource is actually looking quite good for Hera in comparison to Mr. Yo, our Saracen player.
Yeah, well,
I don't think Yo's really used the market yet, though.
Yeah, look at that. 200 stone, 400 wood in the bank. That soon can transition into 600 food. You will see the jump there. Did go for a second mining camp, something we don't see too often, and that one is a beautiful one.
Are we going to see a little bit of a DM thing here, though, if Hera gets that market up and sees that Yo hasn't used it? Is it going to spoil the fun a little bit for Mr. Yo?
That shouldn't be a thing, right? Can he use the market himself? Let's take a look. Oh, no, it's already used. It's exactly the moment Hera finishes his market.
Oh.
Mr. Yo uses it. And he's clicking up 6 minutes, 1 second.
That's why he's the best, right? Because he knows.
Okay, if my opponent is Khmer and he's trying to outsmart me with the market, that shouldn't fly in before the 3 minute, 18 second mark. So I will just do it at 3 minutes, 17 seconds.
Yep. That's exactly it. And Hera actually winning the scout battle, but his scout at 7 HP still. Lots of good vision for him.
That scout battle was massive. Mr. Yo had more HP going in there. That was crazy micro by Hera. And Mr. Yo, he wanted to go for the sneaky moves here. Any stable, some siege workshop or something. Now goes the stable only slightly outside. Hera instantly sees that. That was massively good for Hera, getting all the intel.
Yep. And it's great for Hera that he sees that stable too, so he doesn't have to be worried about some sort of like cav archer shenanigans like we saw from Viper, or maybe some crossbows coming in. Just has to worry about knights coming out or camels.
Yellow side stable now for Hera after he built the archer range, and well, we will have one scout for Mr. Yo trying to clear up the annoyance of Hera.
Is Yo gonna dock here?
Looks like it.
Or is this going to be a siege monk push? Okay, there's the dock.
Goes for one. Maybe just add like 2 or 3 fishing ships after you saw how Hera played yesterday. Just think about how good Yo is at adjusting to opponents' playstyles, right?
Yep.
How it felt that Viper is out-countered in so many strategies, jumping from the semifinal to the final in Bull Wololo 1.
And here come the fishing ships. The villagers are still going forward. And a knight coming onto the field from Mr. Yo from that stable. Actually bringing those 2 sheep back from Hera as well. That's a nice little boost on this map because can't farm around the TC. So always good to get those extra food sources. And there's the monastery for Mr. Yo. We are going to see some sort of siege monk shenanigans here from the Saracens player.
Knight is coming out. Hera builds a scout as well. Interesting that both of them value the scouting intel so highly. Look at that. Mr. Hera even scared of a side attack here. Wants to get some vision of that area.
Second TC for Yo, too. So he's going to try and balance all of these things at the same time. 2 TCs, Knight production, Monk production, fishing ships, Siege Workshop. If there's any player that can make it work, it's Mr. Yo, but it's going to be really difficult to support this.
And if it's any civilization that can make it work, it is Saracens as well, right? Because even if you screw up your villager distribution completely, there is still the market to help you out. Scout and Spearman now around. Siege Workshop should still go up. How much will he lose here? I think going for the Scout is good. Converting the Spearman.
Yeah, I love the fact that Hera made another Scout. And he's going to come over here, try and pick off the Monk. The Knights are in defense, but now Mr. Yo has to be worried about that constantly. Great play from Hera.
Scout a bit faster than Knights. I think they should maybe surround that. Can we see some quick walls? Mr. Yo has the Scouts around. No conversion there. And actually gets a conversion.
Gets a conversion. The Scout dies. The Monk dies. All at the same moment. He's trying for another one. Hera running away with that Knight. Not going to get converted.
Gets away. But still the Monk in the process of converting. Okay, now stopped. Sanctity and double stable. Doesn't feel like the perfect counter to a Monk Rush.
No, Hera's going to have to build up his numbers. He's gone for 2 Scouts, which won't help him much against those Knights. And he has nothing to counter this Ram at the moment. He's actually going for a 3rd stable in the back. You can't help but feel like a Siege Workshop might have been better there.
Well, then you can go for Redemption as well. It is not easy. Some players opt for the tower defense, but actually Hera did sell all his stone. Something we didn't mention yet.
This is a crazy push for Mr. Yo. I don't know how he's supporting this with this eco. It's just Saracens, I guess.
Yeah, 3 fishing ships behind this one, helping out a bit as well. Now summer repair there. Monk defense as well. Gets
That's
one
a great
Knight
conversion.
back.
That's a great conversion from Hera. Yo really needs all the numbers he can get. And he's trying to convert 2 from Hera. Hera forced to delete 1 Knight. Gets away with the second one. And Mangonel on the field now for Mr. Yo.
Ooh, it's omened by Mr. Yo. Relatively costly upgrade there, costing 325 gold. But that enables him to convert Knights with his convert Monks with his own Monks.
Hera must be pretty nervous right now because his main gold is right within reach of this push. But the Mangonel is exposed, trying to get a shot on those Monks. The Monks run away. And the Scouts snipe the Mangonel, so really good engagement there for Hera.
Yeah, gets 1 Knight in return. Oof, buying himself some more time. But Atonement should catch Hera off guard. Look at how aggressively he is out there with his Monks. Some more dance, even a camel being mixed in by Saracens. Favor now. Oh god, he goes for so many Monk upgrades.
Yeah, and Hera with a great pick. With those Scouts, taking out a Monk. He's going to be super active with these Scouts.
Absolutely. And it's 1 monastery against 2. Siege Workshop only has 1 Mangonel in there. No Sanctity for Hera, so technically those Monks could die to a single Mangonel shot.
Okay, Hera with quite a few Knights now. I think if he dives in, he could actually win this. It all depends on conversion luck, of course. He's keeping his Monks back. But that's so many Knights.
It is quite some Monks as well. 4 Monks there. Let's take a look. Oh, but 2 very far out of position. Getting 1 conversion. Now trying to run back. Oh, those 2 Scouts will get a kill.
Will they, though?
Oh.
Oh, he comes back with 1.
What? But the heal behind this. Ooh.
Both players with fantastic micro here. And Hera's opted to go raid the economy for Mr. Yo. He can pick off these fishing ships if he wants to, and he can try and find a way into Yo's base. That's one way to stop the aggression from Yo, but he comes forward at the same time, picks a Mangonel and picks a Monk.
Wow, such great macro. Better than my camera work for sure there. That is so good. Gets some kills there, even kills the dog. But that should probably expose him at the front, and now some converted Monks.
Yeah, he sees that Yo has Atonement now, so those Monks from Hera are going to stay at home. They're going to self-isolate in the Khmer base here. And the dock from Mr. Yo going down. So that fishing economy, gone now.
Mr. Yo now heavily on stone. Don't confuse that with the plan of him trying to go for a castle. Most of the time for Saracens, that's just to sell all the stone. You get a better trading rate there.
Another exposed mangonel.
Monk's trying to
That's the third one.
Oh, and not a lot of conversions against that. Hera, seems like he has enough army here.
Yep. Looping around from behind with those knights we saw earlier. Mr. Yo's push is gonna fizzle out here.
Oh, very problematic. Mr. Yo needs to run. Behind this, he's 5 villagers ahead. But, oh god, all his monks dying. 13 military to 27. And his complete forward is pushed back.
Yep, and now he's gonna have to build something defensive. He's building a TC on the right-hand side. Dude, you don't have anything to stop the army right now.
Uh-oh.
What happens once Hera leaves this forward area and comes to your base?
Well, full camel defense is a thing, actually, but he fights without any upgrades against Bloodlines and +1/+1. I think this is a relatively even fight. No, Mr. Yo even needs to retreat.
Yeah, he's only got one stable. He just doesn't have anything to defend against this. It seems very greedy to go for that third TC in this situation. I would have expected to see another stable maybe, or a monastery in defense.
Stable at the front might even die. 6 military against 30 at the moment. Some herd camels here. Indeed goes for the defensive castle now. So
goes for stone walls.
Wow. Completely changes his plan here. And Mamelukes, yeah, they will be great against knights, but Hera can just sit back and boom this one out.
What would have happened there, though, if Hera didn't have most of his knights attacking the forward buildings from Yo? Could have gotten into Yo's base. The game could be over by now if Hera played a little bit more aggressively in this situation.
Yeah, but Mr. Yo is so good at stonewalling behind this one, and, well, I think he will hold this with the defensive castle. And the thing is, Hera still plays 1 TC behind this.
Yeah, still producing knights from 3 stables.
He's going a castle edge all in. Maybe Mamelukes could be the answer.
Yeah, especially behind stone walls.
I think the most important thing is simply that he snipes those monks. That's the only counter to the Mamelukes.
And Yo not walling behind this house at the front. Hello?
Well, he has 2 TCs there. Not a lot
That's not going to help against that many knights.
Yeah. So true. And there's only like 2 villagers into that TC. Oh, that's a lot of knights, Dave.
Dude, like, why not wall behind that house? That seems so weird. Sacrifice a few villagers, get one converted. The TC is going to get absolutely destroyed by these knights, and Hera can just make his way to the other TC. That's a big mistake from Mr. Yo. I think he just cost himself the game.
Oh, he wanted to wall at one point, but the Hmong forced the villager back. Mameluke numbers now at 4. That's not a lot. Range on them not great, but could do a lot of damage against the knights. That TC, well, you actually only lose the TC there. It's not like a lot of farms will be lost, not a lot of protection will be lost.
Nili, he's losing his entire base. There's no base left after this TC dies.
The second TC, I think, is very important. Yeah, I agree, David.
Like,
3 farmers.
If you're going to stonewall the entire left side, why let him through the middle? It's so questionable for me. As he loses more villagers, he loses another TC.
Mameluke numbers simply not there yet. 7 Mamelukes, they do a lot of damage, but they're kind of vulnerable as well. Only 65 HP on them, and Mr. Yo has to tap this one out. We are going into game 5, Dave.
It really feels like Mr. Yo was in a great position there. Hera doing a great job of turning the game around. I guess for Mr. Yo, you live by the greed, you die by the greed, and he certainly died by the greed there in that situation. Great recognition, though, from Hera to realize that a 3 stable, all-in castle push, once you push back the monks at the front of your base, can win the game.
The question is, Mr. Yo, that was a bit in between worlds, in my opinion. Like adding the TC while going for the monk push, that's something we very rarely see. Most of the time it is full committal, 3 monasteries, spearmen, camel, and just try to get to like 12 monks, and then your opponent can never ever engage.
Yeah.
He never got more than 4 monks out.
Well, Hera was doing a great job with those 2 scouts as well to snipe monks as they came out. And Yo had, I think, 3 exposed mangonels. Like, Hera was baiting him with his own monks, and the mangonels were trying to fire on those. And then Hera would swoop in with some cavalry and take them out. So, great defense there from Hera against that aggression from Mr. Yo in early Castle Age.
What do you think about the monk upgrades? We had Favor, we had Atonement. That could have been 7 more monks, or close to 7 more monks as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
This will get intense for sure. KD, not even fair. 81 to 31 here.
Well, okay, to be fair here, this looks like a complete stomp, but if you had like rewind time about 3 minutes before Hera gets into Yo's base, this KD is a whole lot close.
Yeah, I think so as well. And 9 conversions kind of feel underwhelming for a Monk Rush as well. Especially if your opponent is going for so many knights, not trying to make a scout defense happen there. Mr. Yo, more stone. Actually, less gold. That is surprising to me.
Yeah, especially since the market does count into the gold collected. But still, only 300 less than Hera.
Okay, game number 5 hype. Mr. Yo will play Golden Swamp as his desired home map. It was his first pick. Hera, he did go for his last option, Byzantines, there to keep himself, well, some more options. Britons is the civilization he did pick in the semifinals against Viper in Red Bull Wololo 1. Mr. Yo with a rather earlier Cal picks. Koreans, certainly viable in Golden Swamp as well.
Are we really going to see Koreans, though, in a Game 5? Semifinals of a $30,000 prize pool tournament?
I would love to.
I would love to, too. I was asking the question, are we going to see it, though?
Well, Dave, I have good and bad news for you. The good news is we will see Koreans. The bad news, the cat of T90 will have some hearing problems in the future, because I know some nerd is sitting at home screaming at his microphone, Koreans!
This is insane, dude. I can't believe Yo has the balls to pick Koreans in a Game 5 situation. Maybe he has a plan for it. I don't know.
Oh, and Celts completely left out then. His pick number 5. Koreans against Britons is what we are going to see. Towers, crazy good. Turtle ships, crazy good. Economy,
you gotta get there, though.
Not that crazy good.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't get things like bloodlines, so their scouts aren't so good in feudal age, and a lot of the times we see those feudal battles. So we'll see if Yo opts to wall up right away on Golden Swamp. He does have a forward gold position, which is going to be very unfortunate for him.
Instant archer range by Mr. Yo. Expecting some skirms, expecting some archers. Hera goes for double bit X first. Is floating some wood. And Britons also pretty good on this map, since we have 6 water buffaloes. Compare that to the, or like 7 water buffaloes. That is nearly math 1050 food compared to the normal 500 food that we have on most other Empire Wars maps.
And of course, Britain's gathering the sheep, water buffaloes, llamas, whatever you will, herdables, faster than other civilizations. Yo, going for a defensive tower on that gold right away. I like that.
Oh, very safe indeed. And that kind of indicates that he wants to go for archers, not for the skirmisher defense. Remember that everything concerning military will be cheaper when it comes to wood for Koreans. So we could see some nice aggression on water on this map. We can walk over the shallow and have shifts over the shallow, and eventually potentially fighting for this gold in the center.
Look at these walls from Mr. Yo. Ooh, he's planning on securing a big area of the map. Unfortunately for him, his 2 stones are super far away from the center of his base. Very, very exposed over there, especially when you're talking about facing against Britons. And why is he walling like that?
Dave!
Dude, wait a second. You see the edge of the map. There's no reason.
Did he though? Yeah, he sees the edge of the map. Oh. Does he want to maybe debate Hera in that he walks in there later on and
It's
then
a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece in the making.
Yeah. Yo, good friends with Viper, just wants to make him proud. Setting up an elaborate trap for Hera's units before Hera even has units on the field. And Yo is going across to Hera's base with 2 archers and his starting scout.
Hashtag mind games. Hera fully walled behind this already. Did play the early market, will have an early castle age timing, and yeah, castle age will be just pretty damn smooth. And ooh, first archer could even be picked off in the center. Hera very active.
Nili, there's all these walls for Yo. And once again, this is the second time in this tournament we've seen a hole next to the blacksmith, I believe, where that bamboo is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's so true. Not your typical spot where you jump under it though. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that is the hole.
Hera on the way to the castle age.
653 there. We now have the market for Mr. Yo. Doesn't need it as the building, but maybe to balance his economy a bit more. Is there an option to jump under this?
Oh, he's...
What?
He's deleting the building. Okay, he's making a dock. That's good. Yo, going with a market as well. He should be up to the castle age soon. But Hera is going to have crossbows with that extra Britain range. And Yo has exposed wood here. His gold is near the walls. The tower can't defend all angles of that. And he's got an exposed stone on the other side of his base.
Aye, aye, aye. So rough. And turtle ships. Damage output is crazy. They one-shot a crossbowman later on, but only 6 range, and they're extremely slow.
And extremely expensive, too. Very, very hard to get the mass with the turtle ships. And a lot of times you can see... Maybe we'll see something like monks for Hera to try and counter turtle ships.
Okay. Actually, I think with sending 4 on stone there, I think war wagons might be an option.
Okay. They are cheaper now with recent patches. Not too much cheaper, but more viable than they were previously.
Let's take a look. Defensive tower at the stone makes a lot of sense. Yeah, archers are running around.
Just in time. The crossbow upgrade is going to come in, I think, a little bit too late for Hera to see this. Yeah.
And saving all the villagers. Good job there. Not falling into the trap at the top. Good job, Hera.
He's just going to go right through that palisade wall with these crossbows. Mr. Yo, he's got a few skirmishers garrison in his archer range. Going for a market wall behind this. I wonder if he finishes 80%, similar to what Hera did in previous games. No, he does not. Oh, he does, maybe. Double market.
I want to get some HP on there. 382 for now. And Hera did instantly opt for the extra TC. Is obviously cheaper with Britain, so nice stuff there. Elite skirmish attack. The economy of Mr. Yo won't be fast.
He does have an immediate turtle ship, however, as soon as he hit the castle age, and that turtle ship is going to do very well against these crossbows.
Remember, splash damage. Incredible damage output to begin with. And, well, Hera, he might even know that. Is that the reason why he's instantly going back? Is he that aware of the situation?
I think he has to know. If your opponent's going for Koreans, that there's going to be turtle ships, especially when he saw that dock by the gold for Mr. Yo, and he saw the fire ship, so he knows that it's there. He's going for monk defense.
Monk defense actually is so good, right? You have 9 range with the monk, 6 range to get from a turtle. So sometimes you can do something from distance. Now runs around the left-hand side. Mr. Yo is expanding with some skirmishers. Wants to get some more vision with outposts.
Yeah, the turtle ship a bit slower. Or maybe the same speed as those crossbows. And the crossbows have tons of range, so they can avoid him along the outskirts of the water there.
Mr. Yo.
See if Hera can get a conversion on this turtle ship.
I think he's playing the long run, and oh, let's take a look. He's going in there, and
Dead.
You want to convert me? Take this bullet to the face. Bop.
Oh, Hera might fall into the trap, Nili.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah, it's set up. Oh, or is he? No, he's not.
I think Hera must just assume that it's walled back there. he's probably like, well, of course Mr. Yo would wall it to the edge of the map, so I'm not even going to go back there and investigate.
He kind of sees that it's not walled. He has some vision there. Behind this, Hera 10 villages ahead, kind of what we expected. Crossbow numbers won't be crazy. And the TC in the center by Mr. Yo drops a second dog, still has some turtles out.
And Yo chasing after that dancing crossbow from Hera. Okay, he's not going to get it. Now he gets it, and the Komodo Dragon taking out some rage on the skirmishers, but Hera still hidden with those crossbows on the left-hand side, so he could be annoying with those in the future.
Yeah, missed them slightly. 3 TCs now for Mr. Yo. Do you want to see him go for 4 TCs there, or is that a 3 TC spot and try to get up to Imp and early techs?
I think you can hold against what the Britons can make in Imp with like a Castle Age army, can't you? Like, do you just spend Castle Age solidifying this spot in the middle if you're Mr. Yo and then take your time getting to Imperial Age? What does Imperial Age really get you?
Well, more range on the tower. You can get Bracer for your skirmishers. But yeah, your turtles aren't getting much stronger. Mr. Yo looks like he might even get a castle up there pretty soon. Look at his stone count. Bought 100 stone. That's going to be an aggressive castle. What? That's not a thing.
On that terrain?
He can.
No, he's heading back. Okay. he had like 3 different foundations, and finally he decides on the safer option in the middle of the map. It is a game 5, so.
Monk now from both sides tries to get the turtle, and that could be ugly. I think maybe even deleting the turtle might be an option. Does he get the shot? Not sure if it's in range. It is in range.
He gets another one.
Oh, the monks are getting slaughtered. It's so funny.
There's something so satisfying about seeing a giant cannonball hit a monk to the dome.
And the speed of the projectile as well. And like Hera is like waving, like, let's come over into my land. And Mr. Yo just cannonball.
Now a mangonel for Hera. I think Mr. Yo is out of range. He has to run away from that monk. Yes. He's been very fortunate that the conversion luck hasn't been with Hera so far.
And?
As another monk comes forward, dead.
Oh god. Crossbow raid now against the fishing ships here. Oh god. Game 5, $30,000 tournament. Semi-final. 4 best players in the world.
Oh, he's out of range. He's not in range. Hera, can he possibly get a conversion? Still no conversion.
Oh, now gets the castle up there as well. Tries to chase this one down. Crossbow now the first time we see the turtles maybe against the crossbow working out. And oh, you can't split against that. Look at how they're clearing it up. Hallelujah.
Turtles seem like such an excellent decision here for Yo as the monk tries to get another conversion.
Oh, such a crazy unit. Oh god, Dave.
Just over and over and over again, these monks dying, sinking into the swamp as they're desperately waving their arms at the turtle ships. And the turtle ships are just too resistant to that kind of pressure. Both players on the way to the Imperial Age. Yo, a little bit farther back on economy, but with all the momentum in this game.
And he is taking into galleons as well, which I like a lot. Sees the double dock at the front there. And, ooh, fortunate there for Mr. Yo that those 2 turtles can still attack.
Another monk?
It's like, why is he even trying?
That's like, he's like 0-8, I think, with the monks.
Yeah. At least the
Yo,
castle gets a
finally
kill.
losing a turtle ship. Think about the investment for Mr. Yo as he comes forward with another castle. Like, that's such a good return on investment.
And that
What
castle
those turtles got for you.
That castle is crazy good. It's
Yeah.
blocking all the dock spots as well.
All
you
the
can trap
production.
so much better. You're up to castle age 40 seconds faster as well. And he sees that Hera wants to go on water fully. Score is extremely misleading, guys.
Yeah, and does Hera sees that castle too. It is going to go up. Hera can't really do anything about that. Not with the wagons, not with the turtles and the war galleys from Mr. Yo. And Hera sees it, and he's still made more docks there. Okay, now he's shifting over to the right-hand side, making a second castle of his own. He wants to go for a trap war.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And you see instantly chemistry for Mr. Yo. Wants to go on to bombard cannons. Lovely choice.
Do you think some extra towers here could be justified for Mr. Yo? Like, if you get keeps up in that, like, up in front of Hera's docks over there,
Yeah. At the right hand side.
Warwolf immediately for
That is
Hera.
crazy good. That is so
That's
crazy
insane.
good. An upgrade that gives you more accuracy on your traps and allows you to have splash damage on them. Basically guarantees you to win every single trap war.
First keep is up in the middle for Mr. Yo. He has some more stones, so maybe we'll see more coming out from him soon. First Treb is also his. Hera, just now producing.
Okay, 4.3k HP still on the first castle, is repairing now. Villagers are going into the center, not really sure what they try to do. Going for the mining camp there. Oh, it seems like Hera didn't have a lot of vision of what's happening in the center.
Yeah, and he's not going to get a whole lot more vision either because of the towers and the castles there for Mr. Yo. Hera is now officially on a clock.
And Hera needs
when
to
it comes to
expand.
gold.
Yeah, and on stone as well. Needed to expand to the right-hand side. Very fortunate for him to find extra stone there. Didn't really control the other stone and is out of it. Can't really repair. Bought 200 stone for himself to hold a bit longer.
Fortunately for Hera, though, he did rush that Warwolf tech. I see a bombard cannon coming out from Mr. Yo. Those are more easily sniped, though, with Warwolf, and Hera has one Treb targeting the Trebs from Mr. Yo. That might kill the repairing villagers as well.
Not so far, and Trap still doing a good job. Oh, Hera even wants to jump in there. First bombard cannon instantly sniped.
That's a good play from Hera, building up those galleon numbers. Mr. Yo needs more keeps in this middle area to prevent Hera from getting any good engagements. He's desperately trying to repair his Trebs against Warwolf, but it's so difficult.
Ooh, and Mr. Yo tried to jump in there as well.
Hera's out of stone.
Out of stone again, only 5 villagers there, but there's not a lot of more traps shooting. Get siege engineers there, wants to get extra range on his traps.
Oh,
but
he only
loses the
needed
trap.
one more. He only needed one more shot with the Treb to kill the castle. He's not going to do it, and now 3 Trebs with Warwolf for Hera, backed up by the galleons. Oh, this could shift at any moment here.
Look at the overboom by Hera, but it feels like it makes so much sense. You can get all the resources on the map here. Floating quite some though, so maybe more docks could be nice. Lots of upgrades on his galleons, lovely stuff. Fishing ships in there as well, and it just feels like the bombard cannon should get sniped here as well.
Heated shot now coming in from Mr. Yo.
Lovely upgrade. Gives you more damage from your towers and castles against all ships, and that will be really tricky. 3 traps moving out, 1 bomber cannon for the defense shouldn't be enough. Shipwright, faster production and cheaper when it comes to wood for your ships.
But look at the numbers for Hera. They're getting whittled down by these keeps, by these castles. If Yo can manage to kill some of these traps from Hera, it's going to be... Hera will be in a really tough position.
Oh, bombard cannon though, gets 1 shot off, dies instantly. The second one has to retreat as well, and oi oi oi, bombard cannon's not really as efficient as Mr. Yo was hoping for. Score looks crazy.
Yo is going to be pushed off the middle. That fast Warwolf tech from Hera is coming in clutch here, as he's got 5 Trebs on the field, and Yo just can't find an answer to that.
He's delaying quite nicely at the moment. Next bombard cannon is coming out. No repair on the traps or bombard cannons. Tries to get another shot off before he dies. Can't succeed with that.
And even after the turtle shenanigans, even after losing so much in the castle age to just a couple units, Hera's pulled this back. Look at those galleon numbers now. 26 on the field, followed by 5 trebuchets with Warwolf. There's no way Yo holds onto the middle.
Oh, and builds more towers already in range of the traps. That's not going to be a good thing. Dry dock there as well for faster production. And
castle placement from Hera on the middle. And Yo just gives up. Hera taking game number 5 after he was down with the comeback against our previous champion, Mr. Yo. What a performance.
Absolutely crazy. How he dropped the TCs instantly, set at 4 TCs. Didn't look good in castle there, but didn't really matter. His economy was so much ahead there, and Mr. Yo, he kind of tried to play this one tech thingy, which works against most civilizations, but Warwolf, the perfect tech for the situation for Hera.
He read the game so well there. I thought Yo had quite an advantage in terms of momentum, positioning, but what do you do against Warwolf? If there's galleons to protect it, your bombard cannons are going to get sniped, your trebs are going to get sniped, your castles are going to get laid to waste along with your keeps. And Yo just could not deal with the Britain pressure in early Imp.
Boy,
wow.
We will have a new champion for Red Bull Wololo. First edition, Mr. Yo did win. Now he will finish 3rd, 4th. Hera going into the finals. I feel like Mr. Yo, his map wasn't great, right? He was forced into an archery range and 2 defensive towers and still had to wall so much, was forced into more stuff. And I think if he has a bit more of a fortunate spawn, maybe a map like Hera with defensive gold, defensive stone, it could have been way easier for him.
Yeah, maybe if he had a back gold, maybe if he had a back stone, but Hera taking the win. There's no maybes in that. He definitely did, and he's through to the final. Next up, we're going to have Leary against Viper. Today is going to be crazy. I wouldn't be surprised to see another 5-game set this afternoon.
Neither would I. Leary looked so good. Viper, not unbeatable like he looked some years ago. Did, quote-unquote, well, not quote-unquote, he became 2nd in the Red Bull Wololo 1, so absolutely beatable. That's going to be a massive semi-final. Look at the economy advantage here for Hera. Over 4k food ahead, over 9k wood ahead.
Super, super impressive for him there, especially after losing like 8 monks. He made the counter to the turtle ships, and it just didn't work for him at all. Imagine if he had gotten a few conversions there, how much better it would have been for him. Excellent play. Excellent play for Hera.
Oh boy. And yeah, I think we will take a breather. Dave, you will take a break. We will hear you back in the grand finals. You will cast Hera again. We will try to find his opponent.